Right, how to get the black rock then. You can either park in this little housing estate here by the church, which is centre of your screen now. Follow the path along, down past here to the weir, along this path, along this grassland, this little field, follow the path all the way along, over the other weir, along the golf course, and out to Black Rock here, which is this reef you can see centre of your screen now. Well, to save your legs a little bit, which is very limited parking here, if I spin back round, there is some parking in this housing estate, which you follow the path here, just where the end of the trees are there, and same route. Just saves a little bit of time and saves your legs, because it is quite a bit of a walk. Probably about a 20-minute walk out the Black Rock itself. So as you follow the path along then, the golf course, we'll speed this up a little bit. So this is where you come out, the end of this field here. You then walk along this path, down here along the path to where I am at the moment. That is me. So we've got a strong wind warning at the moment, but this is Black Rock itself. You've got this big reef, and then out here you've got another little reef. Very big tides at the moment, so this little gully, line of mud you can see going about halfway through, that is another gully which backfills before the rest of the reef, so you need to be careful you don't get cut off. But yeah, this is Black Rock. So at Clevedon, that's what we're going to walk onto, and we're going to fish out here to some snaggy but clean ground. To where I am now, the closest point to where I am now is snaggier, and the further you walk to the back side of the reef, the cleaner it gets. Right, we've just gone with a simple pulley rig. See if you can see that, whole squid. First bait, nice and simple. Just over the head thump. There's a nice bit of tide moving through here, which is to be expected on these big tides. The tides today are 14 metres. Some of the biggest tides of the year. So my idea of today was to find a low water mark with a bit of depth. So as all those fish come off all these banks, hopefully, in theory, they're congregating in the bigger pools, and hopefully we have a better chance of catching a fish. That's my idea anyway. Hopefully it works. We've got squid, lug and a bit of carp today for bait. The weather's been kind to us at the moment. The forecast hasn't been completely true. It's gone in our favour. We're supposed to have a few showers today, but it looks like we're going to pass them. Fingers crossed. And yeah, there's a lot of tidal movement out there. I'll see if I can show you that in a minute, but it might be hard on the camera. But that's the first bait out there. Let's get the other rod set up. And we'll go for a pulley dropper on the other rod, and hopefully land us a fish. The next rig then, the pulley dropper. This rig's a lot more easier to clip down when you've got the weight and tension on the line. So again, this rig is designed to fish below your lead, so you've got full confidence that your bait is on the bottom and not flapping up in the tide, because the tidal strength up here in the Bristol Channel can be pretty fierce, and on big baits especially, they could come up in the tide and you won't be fishing on the bottom. That was a bit fiddlier. Right, ratchet off. Oh, she's out there. Yeah, and this tide is flooding through. Flooding through? He's definitely not flooding, he's definitely going out, that's for sure. Right, the first bait come in absolutely untouched. So we've got this time a black lug and squid cocktail. There he is. Who wouldn't want to eat that? But yeah, let's get him out there. Might disappear. So we're right down low on the sand coral now. Right, we'll keep going at it. We'll change this one in a minute because he's just got plain worm on. If the other one come back untouched, we'll see what that one's like. And then that will decide if I'm predominantly going to fish baits or worm baits. But obviously the major thing would be bites. Oh. So a little update then, as per usual. No bites. The tide's still going out. We've got about another half an hour left of the tide. But I'm going to get a nice squid and carp bait out next, I think. I just find it does well over low water, especially for the congers. So there's been a few more reports this week of rays coming out on the boats and the odd cod. And if you do catch a cod, it seems like it's going to be a good one. Sort of around the 8 pound mark is what the usual stamp of fish is at the moment. But again, very few and far between. But I've done, to be honest with you, I've not done that well on this mark. Congers, rays. I lost a smooth hound in the summer. Not this summer, but a few summers ago. But people do seem to do quite well here. Say in the summer, you get the smooth hounds come up after a bit of dry weather. Here's done very well on bass for some people, cod, and the rays as well. So to my left, over my left-hand shoulder, you've got Kingston Seymour, which is a massive mud flat. That's usually quite good for the rays, the thornback rays, congers, silver eels, or green eels, and the odd cod. And to my right, you've got Clevedon. You can see Clevedon Pier from a distance away. You've got to pay to be on that. I don't know what the rules are anymore. I haven't fished that for years. So you are thinking about coming down to fish this mark, again, just be wary of the tides and that tide creeping in behind you. Apart from that, it is a little bit of a walk, but it is quite a nice venue. Not easy under feet, so if you're a little bit unsteady on your feet, I wouldn't recommend this mark. It's a bit of a walk, like I said, and in the end, climbing over this reef, which is slippy, covered in seaweed, mud, holes, you name it, it's on it. But we'll give these rods another 5 minutes, change them over, go again. There's got to be something in this Bristol channel. Right, how I bait up my carp then. I find the biggest squid in the box. I like using the big squid with these, just gives you more chance of getting more, that makes sense, does it? A chance of getting more carp inside. So I had to cut it down lengthways, open her up, take the head and the guts out, save that for later. Get rid of the backbone, whatever you want to call it. I then get my trace, which I think I put in front of me. Hook it at the head end of the squid, so your hook point is nice and proud, if you can see that. Right, your carp comes in wings, that's what they sell them as. I like to cut these straight down the middle, otherwise it's just too thick, too much carp in there, and that way you get two baits out of it as well. I usually use my baiting tool with this, so at this point I'll attach it to my baiting tool and it'll keep it in, but we haven't got it. So lay them in there like so, fold it over, grab your bait elastic, find the end and just bound him on. I don't like to do it too tight because it will just push all the carp out. We don't want that to happen yet. We want that to happen whilst in the water. Make sure you go all the way up. All the way back down. Get the end. Couple right over the end. Use that hook point to close the end up, giving you a bit of a purchase on it, and that will keep the hook point proud as well, and hopefully a little bit stiffer. Ooh. Tie them off with a couple of hitches, couple more for good measure, and that is it. Put your pennel in the top. This time I'm using a circle hook. Through the top, pull them tight, and that is how I hook up my carp bait. Give you a little bit of a closer look of it. But that's him. Hook point, nice and proud, ready to go. Right, unfortunately for me, my camera just blew over in the wind on the tripod and it's now broken. I think it's just the lens, so I need to buy a new lens for it. So that is now out of action, and now we're on the action cameras. But fortunately for me, I was supposed to have a look at a job tonight, but that has now been cancelled, so I've got a little bit longer to do some fishing. Wow, I've never seen it that low down here. The sun's out, and behind us, we're right on low water now, and say it's one of the biggest tides of the year, 14 metres, high and rise full tide. So this is one of the biggest tides in the world. And out here you can see more reef that's just started to appear itself, which I've never seen before. I've never been down here on a big low. So yeah, that's quite interesting to see. It's also nice to get a bit more understanding of what I'm fishing onto. So next time I come along, I know there's a big ledge along here, so I'm not going to fish that because I've got a danger of snagging up. Here's okay, it's quite a constant slope, but there you've got some couple of big ledges which you just know you're going to hook onto. Did find a rig down there a minute ago with no weight on it, so it's a little bit of a moan. Like, if you come down here weight collecting, absolutely fine. Like, but take everything home with you. Take the rigs home. The line's no good for no one. The hooks have still got bait on it. The bird's going to come down. The fish are going to come and eat it. All get snagged up, and it's just ain't good for no one, is it? So just take everything home. Still not had a bite, but we've just got rid of that horrible rain, and now we're in nice February sunshine. I'll do a bait change in a minute. But yeah, as soon as that tide starts turning, hopefully we get a run of fish. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Haters. Right guys, that's it. I'm going to call it a day. Thank you so much for watching again. Yet again, another blank. It's just backing up my thing of how hard the Bristol Channel is fishing at the moment. But that is it. That's fishing. We'll keep plugging away at it, and hopefully we'll get some next time. That's going to fill in behind me in the next half an hour. By the time I pack all my kit up, I'll be well clear of it, but I just want to make sure on these big tides. So see you later. Thanks for watching.